What's up, hobby friends? For this month's vlog, I thought I would try something a little different from what I normally do. My typical format is to basically paint for the month and then in the last week or last few days, basically record a single polished video showing what I worked on, show some pretty pictures, and then give you a roadmap of what I plan to work on in the following month. I thought that because my goal is to basically give you a more behind the scenes look at my hobby journey, sort of the obstacles or any challenges I encounter, it's actually more worthwhile to try and give a more unpolished, unedited look behind the scenes. And so for this month, I'm going to try and record content for this video, maybe not every day, but every couple of days or whenever the mood or the inspiration strikes and I feel like there's something that I want to share, there's something of value, maybe I just want to vent my frustrations. We'll see how it goes. So as I'm recording this, it is Friday, March the 4th. We've just passed midnight. So I've been working on this Bone Tithe Nexus for the past 3 or 4 days. Honestly, I'm sick of it, but it's the last piece of the puzzle and I want to get this done so that the army is playable and finished. Yeah, so if you don't know, my girlfriend and I, we have 3 cats and a dog, and it's quite a zoo. They love making noise, especially when it's just before mealtime and they want food, or it's just after mealtime and they want play. It doesn't help that all of our animals have some form of anxiety, separation anxiety, leave anxiety. My girlfriend's dog also has issues with almost every other animal that isn't her cat, and he'll bark at anything and everything. So it makes recording, honestly, a pain in the ass sometimes. Also, I can't see my phone screen, so I really hope that I am in focus and in frame. If I'm not, fuck. But yes, so Bone Tithe Nexus, I'm hoping to get this done tomorrow. I'm probably done painting for tonight, gonna go to bed, make sure I get up nice and early for work tomorrow, and then I'll spend the evening after work finishing this. Hopefully I can get back onto Marvel by the weekend. I would like to get Juggernaut done. The top of this thing is magnetized, thankfully, and I'm able to keep it all in separate pieces for painting. I'm not a huge fan of these terrain pieces, especially with some of the newer armies. I think Stormcast, Giants, and Lumineth have ways to easily remove them. They are free, but if you don't take them, it almost feels like you're sort of not bringing a tool in your arsenal to play the game or to play the army. So we're getting this done. It was a choice between dry brushing the stone and hand painting the bones, or dry brushing the bones and hand painting the stone. So I chose the latter, and I have been in stone hell, and I'm still in stone hell, painting these little Oni shrines, Oni lamps for each of the 4 corners, but we're almost there. These shouldn't take more than an hour or 2 to paint, and then I have this sort of Shinko, I don't know, pagoda thing that I put together. I think I'm going to do gold for all of the window frames, green for the roofs, and stone for everything else. Keep it nice and simple, something I can dry brush the majority of, and then inject some color, tie it into the army. I need to do some weathering powders and add, I think, some of that Vallejo ground pigment, that desert sand, into some of the corners and crevices just to help tie it in. Yeah, but that's where we're at. I hate this thing so much. It is now 10 p.m. on Friday, March the 4th, and I am just finishing up the Bone Tithe Nexus for my OCR Bone Reapers. Pretty much everything is painted. You can see that I still have the tower. It is magnetized. So the entire thing lifts up and carries pretty easily, but for storage and transport, I can take this tower right off. All that's left now is to apply some Purity Seal. It's a matte varnish to protect for gameplay, and this thing is complete. Now that it's all fully painted, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. A lot of the cartooniness of the color, especially in the grays, gets really muted and sort of weathered out with the weathering powders and ground texture. So really happy with this. Glad it's done and time to move on. So I have been painting for like 9 hours straight now. This is Saturday, March the 5th, and basically did a 1-day paint on Juggernaut, and I've forgotten how complicated these big models can be. Like, I'm glad he's done. He looks fantastic. I like the color scheme, but that's tired. I need a shower and a beer. It's the first Sunday of the month, March 6th, and doing all my video editing for the month. So basically all my Patreon content. I've got Mystique. I just finished Jean Grey and Gambit. And then I'm doing Rogue and Toad right now. And then I still have the 3 videos for Colossus to do. Thankful that I'm at a point right now where I'm able to paint for the month ahead and essentially have all my video content recorded so that I can just get it all edited out of the way at the start of the month and not have to try and play catch up. I think there was a point when I started content creation last year, probably around like October, November, and even December, where I was constantly just painting and recording for that next week, and I was never able to sort of catch any breathing room. I think a large part of that was due to the too many projects I was taking on, as well as grinding out too many armies. So I didn't really have a chance to focus on painting for content creation specifically, and that left me with sort of a condensed schedule, and I think also contributed to my burnout. So in a good process right now, I'm going to try and stay on top of this and maintain this. Ideally, if I could get it even a couple of months in advance, it'd buy me more wiggle room, but I'm okay with this process right now. So a couple more hours of work, and then I can get some food and then get back to more hobby, I think. Oof, so it is 2:15 on Tuesday night. What date is it? March the 9th. I just put the finishing touches on Magneto. Really enjoyable piece, and it's funny because the actual Magneto model is very easy and straightforward to paint, but his constructs and the girder that he's attached to took far, far longer than the model itself. It's crazy. Looks good, just a lot of little details. Spending some time just to photograph everything. It's really, really cool to see a project almost reach sort of the home stretch, or just about to bring it home. This is about, I would say, 2/3 of what the client has sent me. This is the Wave 3, and then we have a bunch of models here, and then we have a couple more that are still waiting for assembly as part of Wave 4. I still need to finish up Scarlet Witch, Omega Red, and Deadpool for this wave, and then I'll be able to wrap up this segment and then jump up to some personal projects. Yeah. I'm hoping to get those 2 models done, those 3 models, I guess, as well as try and put a dent in some of my Necrons. The Eldar are starting to get released, and I picked up the new core set, or the new split set with the Chaos and the Eldar in there. So I've got the new Pathfinders on Autarch and those 3 Ranger jet bikes. I'm really looking forward to working on them, but I don't want to start them until I'm done my Necrons. So quite a lot of painting ahead for the month. Charles, hi. You want to say hi to the good people? Yeah. This is what I deal with on the regular. These guys just crawling all over my hobby space. You're thinking about it, aren't you? Hey, not for chewing. Am I a joke to you? Hey. You're being a nuisance. Just got back in from hobby night at the local game store. Kind of a quiet night. A couple of my friends have been sucked into the world of Elden Ring. Some of them just can't get away because they have to have other commitments or whatever. So pretty quiet night, but still productive. I have the problem right now where most of my hobby nights, let me put this camera down. So I have this thing right now where most of my painting is pre-recorded or recorded for YouTube or Patreon content. And so whenever I go to the hobby shop, it's either to play games, which I haven't done for about 2 months, or to work on stuff that doesn't require recording. So I've been working on my Necrons, and tonight I managed to get the shoulder plates done on 20 warriors and 5 flayed ones, so pretty productive. And hoping to get those done maybe by next week. We'll see how it goes. I also picked up this. I'm going to do my best to keep it in the shrink wrap and open it when I'm able to play my first game with the army. I have a problem where if I start building lists, I'm going to try and power game. So I think I'm going to hobby first, game later. Doesn't seem like much, but honestly, these guys don't have a whole lot to them. Once I get the guns done, I'll do the bases up, and then they're pretty much good to go. And I know it doesn't seem messy, but I've been doing a pretty poor job of keeping my desk clean, wiping the table down, vacuuming up the cat here for the past week. So, I mean, it's 11:15, so I'm probably not going to get much hobby done tonight. Maybe I'll just clean up my desk and watch an episode of something. Good morning to you too, monsters. What do you want? Is it food? Is that what you want? Anything you're recording with a cat in my lap, my little helper. There are times I am absolutely jealous of people who can just base coat and wash some metallics on their Marvel models and call it a day. I have been working for, all evening on Omega Red. The actual model himself, easy, whatever. It's like Doc Ock all over again, but like 10 times worse. Thankfully, I have scotch. So it's Saturday afternoon, 2:30. Had my coffee. I slept in a little bit. Was feeling pretty tired, a little bit under the weather, so slept in, didn't set an alarm. And I was supposed to work on Scarlet Witch today, but I'm honestly not really feeling it. And I was painting some flayed ones last night. I finished the 5 of them, not counting bases, and it sort of got me sort of fired up to work on more Necrons. So on my desk, I have 20 warriors. I'm going to see how much of a dent I can make in them today. I'm going to be doing them in batches of 5. You can pretty much see all the metallics are done. So it's just shoulder pads, some weathering, and then the guns. So I'm hoping to make some good progress on the 20 of them. So I'm on my way to the hobby shop. It's our camera's right there. It's our weekly hobby night. So we do it every Wednesdays after hours. Very limited social circle. Pretty much anyone with our group who's got their shots and vaccines. We just hang out and play games, hobby every Wednesday, and just sort of get out of the house and socialize in person. I've run out of coarse pumice gel, and I need it to base my Necrons. And then there's probably going to be some Nighthaunt stuff coming out soon that I need to work on. So I'm going to be trying to pick some up. I went to Desairs and Michael's, which is like a local arts and crafts hobby shop, a couple of days ago, but hopefully this isn't too loud. They were out, and they've been out for a while. Amazon doesn't have them on Prime. I think the earliest delivery is like mid-late April. So I'm going to try and hit up the Desairs in Oakville, see if they have any, and if not, I'll have to find some online supplier that sells them. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting on some unbased Necrons for like a month and a half, 2 months. That's not cool to me. Yeah, no luck. It's apparently sold out everywhere. I guess I am going to have to go online. I think I did see that Jackson Arts has it for a reasonable price. I think it's like $20 plus tax and then shipping, so a little more, but honestly, I think that's probably my best bet if I want to get it in any sort of reasonable amount of time, which just got home, finished the game with my friend Chris, played some AOS. I'm really tired. It is like 12:30 now. Did not expect the game to go that long, but here we are. Ended up grinding it out for 4 turns. I managed to pull it out. Had a lot of fun. I definitely think the OBR with the new update from the White Dwarf have definitely put them, I think, a solid middle tier army. And I know Seraphon are probably rated as S tier right now, but my friend Chris brought something that was more for like a casual escalation league. So not the most optimized, and it was still pretty close up until the end. I think we were neck and neck in points. Neither one of us had a real advantage up until turn 4 when I deleted Croak and was able to basically swing the points in my favor. No, I'm tired. Brain's fried. What would I change for the OBR? I'm still iffy on the crawler. I think that it's definitely a hit or miss unit. It's very feast or famine. When it works, it's great. But if it doesn't work, it feels bad. And it's 215 points of could have been something else. I'm debating if a second crawler for redundancy is better, but I'm not sure. I also kind of feel like 6 Stalkers might be overkill, but it's not enough to bring 20 more Mortrick Guard. Because I feel like 20 Mortrick are just better utility than 6 Stalkers. What am I saying? I think 6 Stalkers actually could bring me 20 Mortrick. Question is, do I want to paint 20 Mortrick? So the past couple of days would have been the Friday and Saturday. So we're like 2/3 into March. Just a little bit of a wind down period for me because I actually did manage to finish up the wave 3 of this larger Marvel commission and pretty much been painting this nonstop for the past like 2.5 months. I've been intentionally putting in my own work. So I would do like maybe 2 or 3 models for this project and then 1 or 2 of mine just to make sure that I'm keeping those creative juices flowing, making sure that I'm getting or keeping my own motivation up by getting my own projects complete at the same time. So I'd originally blocked out 2 months for this and it ended up extending probably an extra 2 weeks. Not the end of the world, not bad, given how many models there are in this set or this collection. I'm very happy with it, and I think I was able to not sort of suffer that same burnout that I have in the past couple of months where I would spend 3 or 4 weeks nonstop working on the commission and nothing else. So a little bit of a slower pace, but I think it definitely paid off. The quality of the work, I think, is consistent throughout. And I was able to not sort of dread working on this because I was still making strides in getting my own stuff done. So I'm just doing some photography now, getting set up. I've got, pretty much all the photographs are done. So this stuff will be packed up and then sent to the client probably in the next couple of weeks. And then it'll be on to wave 4. So I think there's these models, not counting Sin. The client sent that to me by mistake. I still have Mysterio and Lizard in pieces and sub-assemblies, so they're packed away. I don't want to lose any of the parts. And then I still have to pick up the Rivals boxes. So we're going to have the Rivals Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. So you see, I still have to strip down Kingpin. This was sent to me half painted. I'm not sure if it was by the client or some other commission painter that didn't finish that. So looking forward to working on that. But I think for the next probably couple of weeks, maybe a month, I'm going to work on my own stuff. I've got some Necrons to grind through, and then I want to work on some of my own Marvel pieces as well. I just want to walk over. So I'm a little behind a couple of days in terms of my scheduling. I do need to paint and record a Hulkbuster, and then I'm going to try and get to the little Iron Man here as well. Where is he? The core set Iron Man as well. So I need to record that and edit the videos for next month. So that's probably the next week. And then I kind of want to plink away at some of my Spider Foes stuff. So I need to finish off the Green Goblin, and then I don't have Kingpin yet. Not sure if I want to pick them up yet because I'm not really playing a lot of Marvel nowadays. But we'll see. I don't know. I want to start putting a dent into my own projects for a bit first before moving on to more commission stuff. Which actually, funny enough, I also have more commissions lined up. I have a Cursed City box, probably in about 2 months, and another client who wants to get some Marvel models done. I need to bug him for the actual final list so I can build a quote for that. So it's going to be a busy year for me. But I don't mind. Working on this stuff, thankfully, keeps me busy and not working on new army projects, not rather wanting to buy new army projects, which means that I'm not building or growing my own pile of shame at the same time. So I just spent my evening packing up and prepping the Marvel commission for shipping. It's quite a few models. I believe it's like 20 models, 21 models. It's all wrapped up. It's fairly protected. There's a lot of flimsy models in here. My cat's want food. There's a fair number of flimsy models in here, so it was kind of tricky to wrap them up carefully. I ended up having to like triple and quadruple wrap a lot of them. And then you can see that I've sort of labeled each one and indicated what the base is, so the client has some general sense of how to unpack each of these models. And it's a fairly deep box. I've got this layered up in 3 sections. There's 3 layers of models separated by a healthy amount of this peanut foam packing. And then we have the bases on top. So I'm gonna pack this up, weigh it, and then get a quote off to the client. So it took a little bit of time to get up to it, just working through some of my backlog, clearing through some of the Marvel commissions I had going on. Finally able to return back to this House Tyrannus project I've been working on. Long-term with a client in France. We started this project probably in the fall or winter of last year. I honestly can't remember. It's been a while. COVID and sort of our work situations on both my end and the client's end ended up doing a bit of a delay for the project. He basically had to push back some of the projects a few months because he just didn't have the funding. He was switching jobs, transitioning. I was doing the same. So recent additions this month, we painted up 2 marshals, converted 1 just so that they wouldn't be identical. I ended up doing some weapon swaps from some Mechanicum stuff I had lying around. I repositioned the head so he's turning right instead of left. And like little minor changes, but I think they sort of add up. I swapped out the little skull thing for a lens sensor thingy too. And I finished up, I think these are Cataphrone breachers. I honestly don't know the difference. They're Cataphrone, whatever, man. And then, of course, you have the obligatory knights. I'm not quite sure what the client has in mind moving forward. He did send me sort of a full 2,000 point list. I'm not sure if that's still a project he's looking on collecting, especially with the way that 40K is currently going. He may want to readjust or maybe expand the project in a different way. We're not sure yet. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I am going to be starting to work on painting a Hulkbuster. So I was hoping to start this actually sometime over the weekend. It's currently March 22nd and it's a Wednesday. So I was hoping to start this on the Saturday actually, but I ended up feeling a little burnt out, but kind of tired, a little lethargic, and I sort of just wanted to take some me time to decompress, relax, and sort of just have an easier weekend. And that sort of delayed the Tyrannus models a little bit. I was hoping to get them done on the Friday. I ended up just not painting on the weekend, so I spent the Monday and Tuesday evening painting those models. And I mean, it's still not bad. I still have like 6 or 7 days till the end of the month to try and finish the Hulkbuster, try and get all those videos done, recorded, and then edited for the month of April. So a lot of work ahead of me. See how it goes. So I finally started taking the plunge into painting the Hulkbuster. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this build so far. I would say that I'm probably 8 hours in. 3 in building, prepping, gap filling, sort of sanding down the milliput, and then doing some priming and base coat airbrushing with Tenebrous Gray. And then 5 hours into the painting, I know the camera isn't exactly picking up all the nuances. But the helmet and the chest plate basically are at about an 80% stage, and that's taking me about 5 hours, a little under 5 hours to get to that stage. I was hoping to have this done by this weekend, just so that March is a weird month because the end of the month goes until the 31st, so Thursday, and then Friday is April 1st. And new month, first Friday of the month, that's when my vlog comes out. So I was hoping to have all of the video content for the coming month done the weekend before. What I usually do is I edit it entirely a month in advance, and then I can just spend the month painting and prepping for the next month. Now, I've painted and recorded all of the content for my Patreon, so I will be editing that tomorrow on the Sunday, which is the 27th. I was also hoping to have the Hulkbuster done because the videos I'm going to be putting, at least 3 of them on YouTube, have to do with the Hulkbuster. So there's the actual tutorial itself. So I walk through the basic recipes for painting the red, the gold, the silver, and then all the little knickknacks, like the smoke and the base. And then there's going to be a second video, sort of like a vlog style of my actual progression through painting the miniature. And then I wanted to record a sort of retrospective breakdown walkthrough of the model itself. I also realized now April actually has 5 weeks, so I'm probably going to have to record a couple of smaller videos. I know there was a request on how to paint sort of the New York style urban Marvel bases that I was doing for my commission work, so I'll do that as a video. And then I've also been getting a lot of questions on how I paint my Bone Reapers, so I will probably try and record a video for that, either for April, depending on when I finish Hulkbuster, or May. I have a couple of the Shadespire models still lying around, so I think it'll be a great opportunity to paint those up and record that for some YouTube content. Yeah, so unfortunately, at the time of recording and when I wrap up this vlog, Hulkbuster will not be done. I've already packed up the Marvel stuff for the clients, so I'll try and throw in some pretty shots and pretty pictures as I edit through the video, but that's pretty much it for me. I had a lot of fun recording the vlog in this way, and I hope you enjoyed just having a little bit of insight into my hobby throughout the month, sort of what I went through that was hobby related. I am trying to be a little more comfortable on camera, trying to be a little more spontaneous and comfortable speaking on something that's unscripted, especially when tackling things like ahs, awkward pauses and things like that, and just being more comfortable looking at a camera, speaking more naturally as I'm recording my content. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, follow for more awesome weekly content. And then if you want to check other social media platforms, I'll make sure I drop links in the video description below. As always, until next time, happy hobby.